showers to fill them all up. And so it changes day to day. We do have some waterfalls that are continuous because they're spring fed. Let me show you some. The Honeymoon Falls here. You'll notice the water doesn't start from the top of the mountain. It actually comes through the mountain where you'll see these waterfalls.
So the water table is right there and just shoots out the side of the mountain and finds a crevice to get out, huh? Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
You can see our company bird. We own the island right now. There's no one else out here. Beautiful, isn't it? This was from rain earlier today.
Man, this feels... Another little one right there in front.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful place. This shore was actually at one time about 3 miles farther out. Big chunk dropped in all at once and gave us our Nepali, the cliffs. And this could happen again.
You have it looks like a little native hut down below us, straight down below us. We kind of circled around just now.
The Park Service has areas down here where they keep them maintained, little areas in case people need to have a little refuge. Also, the University of Hawaii has some studies that go on out here.
All right.
Now, if you want to hike to Honeymoon, it's actually 1 mile in from where you parked your car. It's a 2-mile hike. And that's because the trail you'll see weaves back and forth, up and down, all over the place over here. And you can see all these points stick up. Anyone recognize the point at the end of that ridge? If you like musicals, that's the Bali High from the South Pacific. At the base of it is Kauai Beach. Can't drive any further. There's a nice swimming area and a lifeguard always on duty. And whatever you do, don't go beyond the coral. If you do, you could quickly be pulled out to sea. And there's 2,000 miles of ocean out here that you'll have to cross before reaching land again. I'm also looking to see if we got any whales out here. I saw some the other day. And so right now the females are arriving to birth the newborn calves. A newborn whale drinks 100 gallons of milk a day that's 98% fat. It's the complete opposite of 2% milk. And they'll gain 2,000 pounds in 3 months. The adult whales don't eat the entire time they're here. They go 3 months without food. And when they breach, you'll be able to see up to 40 tons of mammal leaves the water all at once. The splash is enormous. So that's usually the first way people spot whales. Farther down, you can see a point stick out. That's where you'll find the Kilauea Lighthouse. And later on, if you visit there, it's a bird sanctuary and a great place for viewing whales. The females like to hang out there because it's protected. And when they're birthing calves, they want to be in a protected area. Over here to our right, a little residential area. People have spent millions of dollars here for oceanfront, which is why helicopters stay high or offshore so they don't bother these folks. Pierce Brosnan's got a place here. Mark Wahlberg, Harrison Ford. Julia Roberts just sold her property. Charo lives there. Remember her from The Love Boat? You know, I got to work with her years ago. She gave me tickets to her show when my parents were visiting. Halfway through, she jumps off stage, grabs my dad, tears his shirt off, grabs the back of his head, plants his face in the middle of her chest, and gave a world-class coochie, coochie, coochie she's so famous for. I didn't think my dad would fully recover. Ever since then, you walk up to the poor guy and say, Charo, he'd start shaking again. Aftershocks. Lumahai was also in the South Pacific, where Mitzi Gaynor was going to wash that man right out of her hair. And the Hanalei Bay. Were you seeing the wave break in Honolulu Bay? If you saw the movie Soul Surfer, the story of Bethany Hamilton, that's where she lost her arm to a shark. She's doing great though. She's married, she's got children, and still winning surfing contests. I really admire Bethany also because of her work with disabled veterans and wounded warriors. Yeah, I was injured in the military. My knees were reconstructed a bit. But I don't need a waiver to fly a helicopter, so I'm happy. Hey, I don't go out running a marathon, but who wants to do that anyways? I've already checked that off a long time ago. And 1/3 of all the taro grown in the state comes from around Honolulu. The starch like a potato. It's boiled and pounded into poi. And if you go to a luau, it's usually in a bowl in the front of your plate. You're supposed to eat that with a spoon or fingers. I found a better way. Mix it with pancake batter. Tastes like a buttermilk pancake. Instead of maple syrup, lilikoi syrup, you'll never want regular pancakes if you try a poi pancake. It's really good.
Thanks, Steve. That's probably the only freaking way I'm going to touch it.
You know what? Honolulu Bay Resort has a taro patch breakfast you got to try. Poi pancakes with lilikoi syrup, fried taro like home fries, eggs, and apple sausage.
Because I make homemade buttermilk pancakes from scratch.
Oh, that's the way to do it, too. That is so good.
I'm not going to tell Judy I'm putting poi in them tomorrow.
You know what? How about a waffle made with some of that in there? That could be good, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that. And Mount Mulakama in the evenings, the mist comes down. When the mist comes down and a full moon rises, like you'll have tonight, you get a moonbow to appear. A rainbow at night. A nui nui kaupo to the Hawaiians. Only place I've ever seen one. In fact, years ago, I proposed to my wife on the Honolulu Ridge with a moonbow in the background. I cleared an area, put a white wrought iron bench, flowering ginger, bird of paradise. Hey, guess who was going for the sure thing, right? Well, I wasn't so sure. The first words out of her mouth, what kind of idiot puts a bench out in the middle of nowhere? Oh yeah, I was off to a great start. But when she saw me kneeling with a ring in my hands, then she began to cry immediately. Probably realized she was about to marry an idiot, but hey, it still worked out. I'm still here. And do you notice all these trees down below with the bright green leaf? That's our state tree, kukui nut. Kukui means light or candle. And the Hawaiians actually would burn the nut like a candle. Plus the oil that's in the shell of this nut, a beauty product for the ladies long ago. It would keep their hair shiny, their skin smooth. It's a fragrant oil. That would be their perfume. And it's edible. Now, I wouldn't recommend eating kukui nut. If you do, you're about to make an amazing discovery. You just ate the world's strongest laxative. 1 nut, you're walking fast. 2 nuts, you're trotting. And by 3, you're setting a new land speed record to a guava tree, which is the antidote. Guava has the opposite effect. Good to know hiking.
Guava plugs you up.
Oh, guava does. It's good to have guava around. And maybe kukui nut, too.
And kukui gets the other round. Okay.
Yep. Eat both together. Maybe that'll neutralize.
There you go. That's the pendulum swinging halfway there and keeping it right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Split the needles. Once a year, the Hawaiians would make an annual climb to the top of Maui Aui Aui. The first who made it up to the top saw the winds rippling the waters. Waiali Ali means the rippling waters. But to climb up here was treacherous. You see this ridge straight ahead? As they're climbing up, you notice when it dips down and goes back up? It's a very thin area, and it's covered with slippery ferns. One slip, you're going to drop 700 feet down one side and 1,000 feet down the other. So to calm their nerves, they would chant something along the way. It would later be translated. It's now the most famous poem on the island. It goes like this. Beautiful Kauai beyond compare, she sends forth bud in the summit of Waialeale. She flowers in the heights of Kawakine. Her strength radiates in the power of the Alakai. And though I weary and though I faint, she renews my strength in her soft petals. And as we go through here, let me know how everyone would feel about a hike.
Wow. You have to go up the top of that one ridge, down the other, and up the other.
Exactly.
On a thin, oh wow.
Now look how thin.
Oh.
Any takers?
Oh my God. I don't think everybody made it.
Nope. Not everybody would make it, that's for sure. Of course, that'd be aloha. You go right down to the bottom down there. That's a long fall, 700 feet.
That's what we call a 3-hour fall. Take a breath. Take a breath. I don't know if I could take a breath again after the one.
Now you can see, this is the crater itself. And up at the top, the Alakai Swamp gets all the water, it distributes it. Isn't this amazing? Now, objects in the window are much closer than they appear.
Wow. You are taking this right in this, dude.
You know, normally my eyes are open, but I've just seen it so many times. Pretty much use the force back here.
Force is definitely with you.
Isn't this amazing?
Just kind of use a little bit of the updraft as a berm, huh?
Oh, it just helps you right out.
Berm and then just come right back out like motorcycle riding, man. That's cool.
That's what I like to do. Take advantage of those winds. Now, when you watch Jurassic Park, where they show the gateway entrance to the park, actually, it's the front entrance to the crater. They set that up over here just in the front entranceway. There's a road you'll see down here. You can also see towards the ocean a ridge with a point in the middle. That begins the outline of the sleeping giant. That points his forehead. It goes left to his chin, over to his chest where his arms are folded, down to the hips and the legs straight out. And down here you'll see a road cutting through, and that's where they set up the gateway entrance. That open field is where they spotted their first dinosaurs to your left right down there. Yeah, we can also see what used to be sugarcane fields is now grazing area for cattle. Cows have a very unusual name here. They're called poopies. They got this name because the first cows were longhorns. They were brought as gifts to Kamehameha from George Vancouver in 1793. Before then, pigs roamed the islands for years. And Hawaiians call pigs pua'as. When they saw the first longhorns, they called them pua'a pupi auhau, or pigs with big iron ears. Over time, that got slowly reduced down to just simply pupi. Cows are pupis. And you'll see pupis all over. The cowboys, Paniolos, got their name because the first cowboys were Spanish-speaking vaqueros from Mexico. Hawaiians couldn't pronounce the word Espanol. There's no ES pronunciation in Hawaiian. So they kept saying Paniolo instead of Espanol, and that name stuck. I only point this out because there's a very good chance visiting Kauai, you might bump into a Paniolo. You might ask him what he does here all day. Now you won't be shocked when he tells you he chases his pee-pee around. An important moment to know he's talking about cows. Learning Hawaiian saves embarrassment.